So over the years, there's been this running joke with me that friends have recognized that I have a unique way of answering or responding in a lot of conversations, and that my response most of the time is simply or and it's kind of funny, on one hand it's kind of funny as, someone's coming and saying, hey, this is something we're really excited about, and my answer is, or this is a problem that we're really frustrated about this. And you know what? Friends have been kind of generous in spirit by laughing that it's kind of funny that I react that way, but actually, it's kind of a problem. And it's difficult to be on the receiving side of my way of interacting sometimes when my answer is this wordless sound. And apparently, somewhere along the line, I was enrolled in the Caveman School of Communication, and I did good in it because the lessons have stuck to this day, and I remember my line, which is, But it's not that great to be on the receiving side of it. It's actually a problem. And man, I'm just glad that it's the only communication problem I have. The first step in improving your communication in your relationships is to admit that you need to. And so I'm going first to say, I admit that I need to improve my communication. And, it's kind of like George Bernard Shaw said back in the day that the first problem of communication is believing in the illusion that it has taken place. And when a guy like me comes along with an answer that's or all the time, that is not actually helping create a completed cycle of communication. And I've had to actually work on it over the years to recognize that as the problem that it is, and to look at the alternatives and to discipline myself to make a different choice. And I literally have to remind myself, come on, John, put some words out there. Throw some words in there, Johnny boy. And I've had to discipline myself to say something like, that's really interesting. Tell me more about that. Or, wow, that sounds exciting. Or, how did you feel about it? Those kinds of simple phrases. So I'll just let you know, if you say something to me and I respond to you by saying, wow, that sounds really interesting, you just need to know I worked on that. That was a choice. But it really is important to acknowledge the areas where we need to grow in our communication. And so I want to share with you 3 core relation shifts that you can make in your communication that are going to help you get better in your communication. But first, let me just share some of God's heart through His Word with you. And so the scripture says in Proverbs 18:1 that the power of life and death are in the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. The life fruit or the death fruit, what comes through our mouths is going to lead to one or the other. And then in Colossians 4:6, it says, let your conversations always be full of grace and seasoned with salt, that you would know how to answer everyone. And then in James 1:19, it says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Wow. Yeah, these are just a few scriptures, and there are many more, but this is evidence of God's heart for the value God places on good and healthy communication in our lives and in our relationships. And so, like I said before, I'm first in line to say this is something I'm working on. And I just hope you would join me to say, me too, I'm working on my communication. And as we do that, we're going to grow. But so let me just dial in now 3 shifts that you can make. And the first shift is simply this. Number 1, offer your full attention. Your full attention. And here's what happens. You got your TV show, you got your Insta reels, you got your TikTok videos, endless YouTube videos, and the game is on and on it goes. And what we can do is we can drown ourselves out with the digitalia rather than placing value on that loved one that's right near us, that person that's right near us. So we need to choose to give and offer our full attention. And so be present. Turn off that reel or that video or that game or that show. Just pause it and make eye contact. Turn your body even to be fully present in a moment. And be relatable. You might even choose to make some physical contact. If it's a difficult kind of a communication, reach your hand out, maybe even take hold of the hand of that loved one, or put your arm around that kid while you're having that conversation. Give and offer your full attention. That's number one. Number two, employ the skill of active listening. Yes, that's exactly what you think I just said. The skill of active listening. And I know this sounds so basic, but sometimes the basics are exactly what we need. So the skill of active listening is simply this. I'm probably reminding you of something you already know, but I want to challenge you to actually do it. Active listening is where person A makes a statement, and then person B repeats back that statement, the words, the ideas, and the tone. And then person A gets to say, yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say. Or, well, no, it wasn't quite that. You missed the part. What I was trying to say was, and then gives it another shot. I want you to try it. Give this a shot, even if it's just for play and just for practice with your loved one or a family member or a friend, and see what happens. Because I'm gonna guess that what's gonna happen is that person A, whoever that's gonna be, is going to feel a little bit more fulfilled, that they have actually been heard, because it's been reiterated, restated back to them, and they know that they've gotten their point across and been really understood. Give it a shot. Employ the skill of active listening. That's number two. And then number three, mind your mannerisms. Mind your mannerisms, your physical mannerisms. So when you're engaging in communication, what is your body language saying? And I'm urging you to use safe and gracious body language, respectful body language. So let's get down into the particulars. You wanna hold off on that aggressive stance. Just be a little bit more relaxed about it, and hold off on the head rolling or the eye rolling. That does communicate something, and it may or may not be all that helpful for the communication moment. Watch out for arms being folded across the chest and turning sideways. All of these mannerisms are part of the communication. So mind your mannerisms, and also acknowledge the mannerisms you see coming from the other person that you're communicating with. Maybe you notice that they are a little bit shut down, and maybe you notice that they're a little bit closed off, and you could acknowledge it and say, suggesting something like, maybe it looks like maybe this isn't a great time to talk with you. Should we try another time later? And it seems that way because I see from your body language that maybe this isn't the right moment. That can be helpful. So this is just scratching the surface. But I challenge you to take these three relationships and do what you can to shift how you do communication and see what kind of health it brings into your relationships.